with Jen. Today we're going to make a local favorite, fried Hokkien Mee. This is the Singaporean style, so it's very local, and we need lots of ingredients. Let's take a look at the ingredients we need. Firstly, we need yellow noodles and the thick bihun, as well as the thin bihun. For the thin bihun, you will need to soak it with water for about 20 minutes. We need some fresh prawns, deshelled. We need some water, hot water. About 3 cloves of garlic. Some onion. Prawn shells. Ikan bilis. If you don't have ikan bilis, you can actually use the ikan bilis stock. I've got some pork broth here. These are the ready-made ones. However, you can also use pork bones. Bean sprouts. Spring onion. Squid. 4 eggs beaten. For the seasoning, we'll need pepper, salt, vegetable oil or grapeseed oil, Thai fish sauce, light soy sauce, and dark soy sauce. Let's get started. I can't wait to start cooking. I'm going to add some oil to the saucepan. I'll wait for the oil to get hot for a couple of seconds. And what I'm going to do now is to make the prawn stock. I've got here lots of prawn shells and I'm going to place them in the saucepan. You need lots of prawn shells to make a flavorful stock. So what I'm going to do is to wait for the shells to be cooked. Okay, the shells are turning red now, so it's time to add the garlic and the onions. So I can already start smelling the fragrance, the fishiness coming from the prawn shells. This is absolutely essential to create a very flavorful stock. Now I'm going to add the ikan bilis. This is the ingredient that makes the stock very rich and very sweet. And I'm just going to add in a little fish sauce, probably about a tablespoon or so. A little pepper. And just a pinch of salt. Next, I'm going to add the pork broth. My version of the Hokkien Mee is actually a healthy version, so we use pork broth, and mine, I decided not to use lard for this recipe because you know, I love the seafood flavor of fried Hokkien Mee. However, I don't like it too porky. A lot of people love to add in pork bones for this. However, it gets a little too overwhelming for me because I'm not really a pork lover. I like Hokkien Mee because of the rich prawn stock, and I rather focus on, you know, the flavors of the prawn and the seafood. Yeah. However, if you like pork, feel free to add in pork bones to bring out the flavors. I prepared here 500 ml of water, but we'll see, we'll add in the water bit by bit because we don't want to over dilute the stock. Okay, now what I'm going to do is to leave this to boil for about half an hour so that the soup really comes out very sweet and very rich and very flavorful. What we're going to do now is to poach the prawns in this hot boiling broth. The prawns cook really quickly, so when they're orangey red like this, you can actually set aside because you don't want to overcook the prawns. Next, we are going to cook the squid. Okay, the squid, they are done now, so I'm going to set them aside as well. And continue to cook this broth for another maybe 10 minutes. I'm going to fry the noodles, so I've added some oil into the pan. And I'm going to stir till it becomes hot. Usually what people do is to add the pork lard, but I have decided to remove this from my Hokkien Mee because I wanted a healthier version. So now that the oil is hot, I will cook the eggs first. Next, I'm going to add the noodles, followed by the thick bee hoon. And mix the egg with the noodles. Add just a bit more stock. Next, I'm going to add the tin bee hoon. And I'll add a little bit of fish sauce. And mix everything together. Then I'll add the light soy sauce. Followed by the dark soy sauce. And now I'm going to add the bean sprouts. Now I'm going to add the prawns and the squid. And I'm just going to give it a stir. Lastly, I'm going to add the spring onions. Okay, it's ready now, so I'm going to dish it out. The Hokkien prawn noodle is finally ready. It looks great. I'm gonna enjoy it with some lime and sambal chili. Thank you for watching another episode of Cooking with Jem.